Yoink. Pandora POV. *BOOOOM. I suddenly feel power unlike I have ever felt fill the hall and pressure me into the ground. Unbridled fear overcomes me and I feel how my body is about to break into thousands of pieces. But before that can happen, a hand touches my shoulder and as quickly as the pressure arrives, it is gone again. I see the woman smiling at me and the steam coming from Poseidon's pipe surrounding me and holding the pressure off. What's the matter, Zeus? Poseidon asks while looking disinterested. You dare to come here late and then you even dare to bring this woman with you. A goddess from another pantheon. Zeus shouts and his power shakes the halls. So, I don't see a problem with that. I am your king. You will do as I say. You really need to relax there, Zeus. Because I thought I told you last time, that you don't have a right to anything. I will do as I wish and those under my care will be under my protection. Poseidon starts to walk towards Zeus with slow steps and continues to smoke. She will go down there and do what I created her for. Zeus' eyes shine bright blue and sparkle with electricity. You will not take her anywhere. She has her own free will. She can decide where she wants to go. She does not. I say what she does and what not. Zeus says through clenched teeth. Truly. I see. Then how about my wife and I give her some gifts as well? What do you think, dear? Poseidon asks the woman. Sure, love, let's do that. Wife. She is Ra, a former god king. From another pantheon. Zeus shouts. What? Why? You can't do that. This time it is Athena who says that. So, I fell in love with her and don't care about her heritage. Her origin is no concern of mine. All I care about is that we care for each other and that's enough. So you better deal with it, cause you might not get invited to the wedding at this rate. I warn you, Poseidon. Zeus says but Poseidon just waves him off. You're right. You're already not invited. Too bad for you. I look at father and see that he is fuming. Not much and he will explode. You go first, dear. Poseidon tells Ra who is smiling very brightly. Very well. I Ra, goddess of the sun and soon to be queen of the kingdom of the rising tides, gift you Pandora with a strong heart and the ability to rise when the night seems unending. May your dreams burn brightly inside your heart and fuel your endeavors. A bright light could be seen when she said those words to me and a warm feeling spread inside my stomach. She is so gentle and nice to me and I don't even know her. A great gift, my love. Then let me add to that. Since my wife gifted you a strong heart with burning ambition, I shall grant you a strong mind and will, to stand tall against all odds. I shall grant you the ability to use your will and weaponize it, fighting against your destiny, and being free, to never stop and follow the flow of times. You will do no such thing. Zeus shouts and shoots towards Poseidon, with speed so fast, that I don't even see him. *BOOOOOOOOM. Athena POV. That was too much. I listen to the gifts of the sun god Ra and then Poseidon grants Pandora and understand something. I know that Zeus' plant would either not work or at least not as intended. Those are powerful gifts for a mere human like Pandora. I feel Zeus' power explode out of him and he shoots towards Poseidon. *BOOOOOOOOM. His speed is more than half the speed of light right now. I know he has gotten faster and stronger over time. The reason for that phenomenon is unknown to me, but I'll find out soon enough. Boom. Both of them crash through the walls and destroy the room. Apollo, Ares, Hermes, Aphrodite, Hera and I move to watch the fight. Zeus shocks Poseidon with his lightning while pushing him through the floor and all sorts of buildings on Olympus. Boom. *BOOOM. Bong. They are moving too fast for me to see their facial expressions but I can feel Zeus' anger as it affects all of Olympus. I see Ares next to me having a maniac and almost euphoric look on his face. He loves this. I find him disgusting. I look over to Ra, that foreign pantheon wench, who managed to get close to Poseidon despite me fitting him much better. And now he wants to marry her. She reminds me more of Aphrodite than a former god queen. As I watch her, she suddenly looks at me and smiles. That slut. She's making fun of me. I turn away from her and continue to watch the destruction going on. Honestly, I am disappointed in this fight. But just as I get more and more disappointed, something happens. Poseidon plants his feet on the ground, stopping his momentum and bends his upper body back 90 degrees. He grabs Zeus' arms with his hands and then uses Zeus' momentum against him to throw him away in one fluid motion. Zeus crashes into the building behind them and Poseidon stands there as if nothing happened. His clothes don't even look damaged from all that lighting Zeus was using. Poseidon still looks at Zeus with his usual apathetic face, but this time, I also see a hint of amusement. Zeus jumps into the air from the debris, lighting is coating his entire body and crackling in the air. He pulls back his fist and then descends on Poseidon's position. *BOOOOM. An explosion takes place, but Poseidon isn't hit. Instead, Zeus' fist hits the ground and Poseidon moves to the back using the smallest movements. His expression doesn't change at all, he doesn't even defend himself or block the attack. Zeus moves towards Poseidon and delivers an uppercut. Whoosh. Without bothering, Poseidon moves his head to the side, letting the fist pass by without touching him. One of his hands is behind Poseidon's back and with his other, he blocks the thousands of punches aimed at his head. Picture. Whoosh. 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 *BOOOM. Bang. *BOOOM. I can tell that the speed of Zeus' fists is getting faster and faster, almost reaching the speed of light right now. The lighting is dancing around his body and charging the air, heating it up. The speed picks up once more, but it doesn't change anything. Poseidon uses his palm to hit the fists coming towards him out of their trajectory. It looks like Poseidon is moving around like water. A dance where one misstep could mean pain or loss, but nothing seems to stop him. I try to memorize his moves and then replicate them, as this has to be the most powerful martial art I have ever seen or can imagine. Suddenly Poseidon stops moving backwards and no longer just blocks. He uses his palm to clash against the fist of Zeus, causing shockwaves to permeate the surroundings and cause a lot of destruction. *BOOOM. 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 I suddenly notice something as I watch them fight. The way the fight is going has changed. The flow, if you will, has shifted. Poseidon knows what's coming and acts accordingly. What's more impressive is that Poseidon isn't moving as fast as Zeus is, he is moving slower, and yet, he can not only block but even pressure Zeus. Come now, Zeus. All this work and you still can't do anything. Here, let me show you. I hear Poseidon say. He pulls his arm back and then waves it in front of him as if he was waving away a fly. Picture. *WWOOOOSHHHHHH. A powerful shockwave is released from the wave of air and pushes Zeus back several meters. Unlike you, I have spent years and years training myself. Alright, that's a lie, but I still trained. I worked on myself and still do, which is why I am thankful for this little respite you granted me. A little way to move some muscles. Otherwise, I'll get rusty, Poseidon says. He has taken a strange position, which I can only attribute to his martial arts. He still has one arm behind his back and the other in front of him, facing upwards. The air around him has changed completely. Zeus is looking at him with more anger than ever before, and the power of his lightning is melting the ground and charging the air. I can feel his raw and fast power, while Poseidon, I feel nothing from him. Come, don't be shy. Here, let me show you again, Poseidon says. He turns his palm around so that it faces Zeus. A bright blue circle of what feels like various energies forms in front of his palm, and then picture. *WWOOOO. BBBBBBBBOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO impossible. I say after the dust has settled somewhat. No, child, that is not even close to impossible. I hear Ra say beside me. I look at her and see that she is smiling gently and in a relaxed manner. She doesn't look bothered or worried at all. Like she knew this would happen. I look back and see Zeus standing back up. He is all bloody and battered, but he has entered his strongest form. In that form he absorbs all of the lighting into himself and basically becomes lighting and adds enormous defense to his incredible speed. His hair stands up from the charge and the air smells of ozone. I see him take one step and then, he disappears and appears in front of Poseidon again. Asterisk boom. Normally, at our birth, we essentially have nothing. Our actions define what we do with our lives and what we achieve. We as gods are a special case, since we represent different domains and hold power connected to those domains. Our power and immortality naturally make some of us arrogant and bored over time. You are a special case. You are the youngest amongst us siblings and enjoyed the best life had to offer since the very beginning. You were cared for by beautiful ladies, enjoyed the best food and drink, and then appeared as the savior when you tricked Kronos. You became king, not because you were better suited for it, but because you had help. As the god of the sea, liquids and more, I have come to understand how to read the flow of all things. Poseidon spoke to Zeus while he was dodging and blocking all of his attacks. Zeus wasn't able to land a single hit. But I noticed that as his anger rose, so did his power and therefore his speed. He was growing mid-fight. The threads of fate, the fates use thread to weave the fate of our pantheon and even a bit beyond. They are feared normally for the power they hold and rightly so. You are on the receiving end of the fate they weave, which explains your life and experiences to this point. You were always meant to rule and that was the reason you were voted to be king. It is also the reason you are growing stronger as we fight. Not that it matters, not really, but it explains why the others will have no chance of ever replacing you, at least if it weren't for me. Poseidon continues and chuckles. *BOBOOOOOOOOOOOOMMMMM. Lighting strikes from the sky and Zeus enters a new stage of power. I can feel him just passing some kind of threshold as he stands there with his masterbolt in hand. His eyes shine with power and lighting, and even I have trouble breathing. I only see bits and pieces of his movements, and it looks like he is moving in slow motion, despite me seeing the past already. That's how fast he has become, faster than light. With a powerful throw, Zeus shoots his masterbolt towards Poseidon. I see Poseidon hold his palm like he did before. The masterbolt suddenly explodes into pure energy and blinds Poseidon for a second. When I can see again, I see that Zeus has used this fraction of time to appear in front of Poseidon. His fist charged with his top speed, multiple times faster than light and containing all of his power, is right in front of his face. Picture. *BBBBBBOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO Can you still not tell? You can't even make a small scratch on me. The funny thing is that I am not using more power than you are, I am just better at using what I have than you. What you are seeing right now is my power over vibrations and waves in effect, combined with my martial arts. I am pushing you away from me and creating a barrier around me. Picture. That's what the foo. Even I have no words to say what I am seeing right now. What level of power has Poseidon reached to do this to Zeus, a god king? Zeus materializes his master bolt again and uses it like a sword to swipe at Poseidon. *BOOOOM. But instead of dodging or blocking, Poseidon just grabs the bolt with his bare hands. I think we will end the dance here for today. Before I go, I will tell you what will happen now. I will show you what will happen if you don't have a cheat and take away the thread that keeps you in power. I will change the flow of the tapestry of fate. Oh, and we will take Pandora with us. I see Poseidon hold his hand in front of Zeus' stomach and the same circle of power materializes on his palm again. And then recoils. 9 everlasting spirit vibration palm. Picture. *BBROOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO The day had arrived, finally. The kingdom of the rising tide was in chaos and anticipation for the upcoming event. A marriage is going to take place. Poseidon, god of the sea, earthquakes, life and linguistics, was marrying Ra, goddess of the sun, order, and the sky. Everyone in the kingdom was allowed to attend and some special guests were invited as well. A grand area was used for the occasion and everything was arranged by the minor gods and goddesses or nymphs, nereids and oceanids who lived there. Even the humans were allowed to attend. Poseidon and Ra didn't differentiate between those when it came to celebrations. There weren't that many humans in the kingdom yet, because either Ra or Poseidon chose them personally and wouldn't allow anyone to enter. The processions were starting and just like a rather modern marriage, Poseidon arranged both him as the groom and Ra as the bride to have one witness. He chose Hades as his witness and his sister Hestia, who was also invited, was the witness for Ra. None of Ra's family had arrived, but that wasn't important to her. She had waited far too long for this moment, to let it slip past her fingers, due to her family. Hundreds of thousands of Poseidon's soldiers were present as well. They didn't look like high society guests, but no one cared about that. The kingdom of the rising tide was not a shallow one. Actions were more important than appearance and everyone knew that. Then the moment arrived. Hephaestus arrived, dressed in formal and beautiful clothes. His limb was long gone after Poseidon had healed him with his power over life. It would have been so easy for Hera to ask him for help and he would have helped her. Despite his words to her, he cared for her like he would for a sister. But her arrogance made it hard to do it. Greetings everyone, men and women of the kingdom of rising tide. Hephaestus addressed everyone. His voice was magically loud so that everyone could see him. Due to magic, everyone could both see and hear everything that was going on. Despite not being fit for this job, I will take the role of prime witness today to have our king and queen married. We are gathered here today to have our beloved leaders, our king and queen, our god king and god queen married on this day and with it, see a new era arrive. Because this day is special in another way as well. On this day, the kingdom of the rising tide will no longer be a mere kingdom in a separate dimension. No, with this unity of Ra and Poseidon, a new pantheon will be born. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Murmur. That's right everyone. You heard right. With this union, a new pantheon will be born. One that is separate from the Greek pantheon or the Aeneid and will stand on its own, against all opposition. I was invited as well and naturally, I accepted. The invitations also went out to Lord Hades and Lady Hestia, but they are still undecided. But now for the main event. Do you, Lord Poseidon, take Lady Ra to be your lawfully wedded queen, to have and hold from this day forward, for good and better, for rich and richer, in health, to love and cherish, for all eternity? I do. Poseidon answered. And do you, Lady Ra, take Lord Poseidon to be your lawfully wedded king, to have and hold from this day forward, for good and better, for rich and richer, in health, to love and cherish, for all eternity? I do. Ra says. May we get the rings please? Hephaestus says. Hades and Hestia step forward to present the rings both Ra and Poseidon have prepared for one another. The rings were special of course and would hold secrets as well as authority and mark them as belonging to the other. Ra was the first one to step forward. I thought long about what I could gift you, my love. But I settled with creating a ring that burns as brightly and powerfully as my love for you. As long as you wear this ring, you will share my power and be able to do what I do, have the same authority as I do over my domains and feel where I am at all times. The ring will be warmer and shine brighter the more love it is fed, so keep it warm. Ra presented her ring to Poseidon. It might not have looked like much, but there was a massive amount of power contained inside the ring. It was pure love, melted down and made into a ring. Picture. Poseidon smiled at that and as soon as Ra put the ring on his finger, it started to shine as brightly as the sun. So much so, that he had to dim it using his magic. It's beautiful. I will cherish it forever. But now it's my turn. I also thought long about what I could give you. In the end, I want to give you everything but that might be a bit much for just a ring. So I settled with almost everything. With this ring, I grant you authority equal to mine in our future pantheon and the kingdom of the rising tide. Your word shall be my word and your decisions mine. Through wearing this ring, I also grant you a new divinity and make it, so that you may never feel weakness, no matter the environment you are in, Poseidon says. His ring was more feminine with what looked like precious stones inside. But those stones weren't really stones, they were water. This water represented the authority Poseidon granted Ra and the power she would gain after wearing it. It was also a rather unassuming ring, but as soon as she wore it, a powerful wave of water shot out from the ring and drenched her. When the water receded, Ra wasn't wet though and only smiled brightly understanding that she had gained a divinity over all kinds of radiation. Picture. Ra and Poseidon smiled at one another and she jumped at Poseidon kissing him deeply. The kiss contained all of the emotion these two held for one another. Well, we skipped a step, but by the power Poseidon so graciously granted me for this occasion, I now pronounce you king and queen. You may kiss. *WWOOOOOAAAHHHHHHH. A loud cheering roared through the crowd as they witnessed the birth of a new pantheon. One that was founded with love and marriage between two god kings. The power these two held was higher than any other new pantheon. Right now, the power between these two was second only to the Hindu pantheon. But the three most powerful deities of the Hindu pantheon thankfully didn't really care about the others. But we shall see. The pantheon of solar tides was born. The celebrations were going on in full swing and unlike the parties on Olympus that were filled with getting drunk and orgies, this one was not like that. There was alcohol, but it was drunk sparingly and there were also other beverages. Everyone was talking to each other. Station didn't matter, divinity didn't matter. Hades talked to his wife, Persephone but also others like nymphs and even a few humans. His image was slowly changing and it was all thanks to Poseidon. There was no one more powerful than the royal couple and since they were so familiar with everyone, it was not scary for them to see Hades or any other god. Poseidon and Ra ate with all the guests for hours, but then left the party to be alone. Poseidon led Ra to a new area, where he had created a new palace just for them. Picture. So you just created this in your free time? And how did I not see you do this? I was with you most of the time. That's right, most of the time. I work very fast. Besides, time has not much meaning when you can manipulate it, Poseidon says as they walk. I love it. I really do. Nothing will ever separate us again. After all, I hold your heart in my hand. Ra says with a mischievous smile as she caresses her ring. Ah, so you noticed. Of course I did. It has been a part of me for a while now, Ra says. Haha. Well, there is in fact another reason. I wanted to show you our new residence. Really? Yes. I have another present for you, Poseidon says as they reach their sleeping chamber. On the humongous bed, a small long box lay there with a sword on top. Ra looks at the weapon and then at Poseidon. A sword. It is a soul-cutting weapon. The shape of the weapon is not fixed and can become whatever you want. All you have to do is infuse your essence with it, Poseidon says. Ra approaches the weapon. She takes it into her hand, and as soon as she does that, a bright light and heat emanate from it. As a powerful goddess, she has long mastered most of her abilities. Most, in the sense that she has development potential, and since meeting Poseidon, who never stopped growing stronger, she was motivated to also become more powerful and train. So the connection with her soul cutter weapon is a matter of seconds. A great change takes place inside the room, and the sun that shines in the kingdom shines stronger. Poseidon watches as his wife undergoes a change. Not just spiritually and conceptually, but also her clothes change. For some reason, the clothing style of Ra, where she wears the least amount as possible, carries over and she appears in a different state. Her hair becomes white and a staff appears in her hand. Picture. Ra smiles as Poseidon walks towards her. He moves very close. While he looks apathetic to most people, he doesn't look that way at all when Ra is around. And something has started to rise to see her like this. He gives her a deep kiss. We will never let anyone see you like this. And in the off chance that you do, make sure to kill them, otherwise, I will. He whispers into her ear. MHHH. I love that possessiveness and I agree. How about I show you my soul realm? Ra asks. Are you sure? It doesn't get more personal than that. Are you serious? I just thought I'd remind you. The two focused, and a moment later, they both appeared in Ra's soul realm. The place was shining brightly like the sun on steroids. The heat would kill anyone who didn't have a similar domain or resistance to heat. To put it into perspective, the core of the sun in our solar system is roughly 15 million degrees Celsius, and this is not even a fraction of the heat in Ra's soul realm. And the heat was rising more and more. Thanks to the new divinity of radiation, the soul realm also exuded all kinds of radiation, with an intensity that would instantly kill even superhumans. Not even gods would come out unscathed from this and would develop cancer quite fast, in fact. Poseidon looked around and saw Ra sitting on a golden throne. He could already see her true release being very overpowered indeed. It would make Yamamoto Shigekuni look like a candle or less. You know, love, I have the perfect martial arts for you, now that you have gained a major divinity over radiation, Poseidon says. I am interested to see it. What's it called? The all-life eradicating fist. MHH, I want to see it now. Say, how about we use this large bed for the first time? I suddenly feel like it would be the best time, Ra says after they return to their bedroom. Ra moves on the bed and lies down, looking back at Poseidon seductively. Picture. It was clear what would happen tonight and the next couple of months. Poseidon smiles and joins her. The two finally consummated their marriage. Blank. ____. I will be very bold in the next arc. War is on the horizon and it will be glorious. I also decided on the number of women he would have at the end. I don't really like harem novels and rather prefer single female leads. But I have to change my way of thinking since he is a god. No more than 3, and I might not even do more than 2. But 2 are certain. Don't worry, I will make it somewhat realistic and give the women a character. 82 comments, 0 vote. Ain't no rest for the wicked. And I added a character auxiliary chapter. Also Jord equals Gaia. Blank. Third person POV. In order to understand the history of the Asgardian thunder god known as Thor, one must first understand the nature of the Asgardian people. Although their true origins are lost to antiquity, the Asgardian people, native to the dimensional realm of Asgard, have spent centuries as slaves to the mysterious being known only as those who sit above in shadow. These immensely powerful beings have utilized the Asgardian people to sustain and increase their ever-growing power. Generally, the people of Asgard had long believed those who sit above to be only myth. The only member of this pantheon who was aware of the full truth was Thor's father Odin, who for untold centuries has attempted to break the hold those who sit above have had on his people. This cycle of death and rebirth has since been called Ragnarok, or the twilight of the gods. This cycle has appeared to be part of the celestial axis of the zodiacal procession. Asgard and 8 of the 9 worlds within are linked to the planet Earth in another dimension via the celestial equator. Each Ragnarok cycle has been run roughly every 2,160 years. Each new cycle would occur basically the same with varying differences. Thor himself would relive his life over and over, sometimes different in appearance, sometimes different in overall character. His relationships with his fellow gods also varied from cycle to cycle. Generally speaking, most myths state that the people of Asgard had their beginnings with the birth of the frost giant Ymir, who rose out of the frozen waters of the Well of Life many millennia ago. This was followed by the birth of the cow known as Audumbla, who was protected and nourished itself from Ymir's body. From this feeding from the ice, Audumbla uncovered the first of the gods, Buri. Buri later married the frost giantess as a wife who bore him a number of children. Among these children was Bor, who begat more children with his wife Bestla. Among these children was Odin. Odin eventually became the ruler of the realm of Asgard and lorded over its 9 worlds. Odin, through his wife Frigga, had a single son, Thor, who grew to become the god of thunder and eventually wielded the mystical hammer known as Mjolnir. But this cycle things were different. In this cycle that we find ourselves in, things are very different. In this cycle, Odin decided that his son Thor should be born with a direct connection to Earth. In order to facilitate this, Thor sought out the Earth Mother Jord, also known as Gaia. Jord gave birth to Thor, and after a few months of weaning, Odin took the boy to Asgard where he was given into the care of his wife Frigga. It was not long after Thor's arrival in Asgard that Odin allowed his father Bor to seemingly perish battling frost giants by being turned into snow so that he could rule the kingdom himself. Growing up as a child, Thor often heard tales of his father's various quests. But what he didn't tell him was what happened when his father Odin went to Earth and met Jord in order to convince her to conceive his son. Several centuries ago, on Earth, inside a secret dimension that was only accessible to a few, a man appeared. It was the dimension belonging to Gaia or Jord, as the Northerners called her. The man was tall and powerful. His aura told of many battles and the mystical energy he wielded spoke for his role as a leader of his pantheon, the Skyfather Odin Borson. Due to his status as All-Father of Asgard, Odin is an extremely prideful deity, demanding respect from all gods and mortals. But his power might have also made him a bit arrogant, because only the most foolish or the most powerful would dare to enter Jord's domain like he did. And there weren't many who could even hope to get out of her domain alive like that. So there he stood, looking at Jord, Gaia, the Earth Mother, and she looked at him. The All-Father Odin bids thee greeting, Jord, goddess of the earth. I come to Midgard from high to seek counsel from thee, primordial. Odin speaks. Speak, Odin Borson of Asgard. And I shall see whether you may leave alive. Gaia or Jord says. I seek an heir whose power surpasses Asgard. You are the fertile spirit of earth, fair primordial, and I of heaven's glory. Were we to join in love, what majesty might be born of such divine union? Odin asks. You think highly of yourself, All-Father. But why would I ever care about that? I have more than enough offspring that are strong enough. Even the offspring of my offspring is powerful and continues to impress. So tell me, what can you offer me for this? Jord asks. Odin thinks for a moment. He didn't see this happening. His missing eye is a testament to the wisdom he gained from Yggdrasil. So he thought that a powerful son, born of their union, would be within her interest. And yet, here she was wanting something. But what? What is it that you seek? What could I, Odin Borson, have that you desire? Speak and I might grant it. I do understand within my soul your burning desire for a son whose strength might derive not solely from your own. A son, unlike the gods of Asgard whom you gave form at the beginning of age, but I also desire something. And if you truly want that son of yours, then you will swear to me that you will grant it. What is it? Revenge. Revenge on the one who dared to go against the natural order. The one who stole the souls of my precious children and did the worst of crimes. The one who I can no longer touch on my own. Swear it to me, that you will get revenge for me, and destroy him. If you do that, then you shall have what you seek. Jord tells Odin. Odin thought about her words and finally nodded his head. An easy request. It shall be done, you have the oath of Odin Borson. Very well then. Come then, if you find the present guise of Jord most pleasing to your eyes which I as Mother Earth wear. Embrace me in your arms and I shall give you such a son as time has never known. And so, a child was conceived. Thor Odinson. Present day. In the halls of Asgard's throne room, sat Odin, the All-Father, the Skyfader, the god king of the Nordic pantheon. He was in thought and knew that the time had come. The time for paying back debts he owed. Call Njord here now, Odin demands, and the guards immediately leave the halls to fulfill his request. Odin was in thought. He knew that doing what Jord asked of him all those centuries ago would not be easy as he first thought. But that was hardly a problem. On the contrary, he was even a bit excited that his son Thor, whom he had groomed and prepared for so long, could find some enjoyment in battle soon enough. Despite what he said to others, Odin loved battle as much as Thor does now in his youth. But Odin has learned when to fight and when it is better not to. The best time of attack was now, Odin knew. But he wouldn't go ahead and attack head on, that would be folly. No, he had other plans and could see the outcome of certain actions. Having observed his target and those around him for years now, he knew that it was best to use the tactic he had prepared. The door opened and in walked Njord. He was dressed in his armor and bowed before Odin. You called for me, All-Father? Njord asked. Indeed, Njord. There is a crucial task I have for you. Over the centuries, things have started to take a displeasing turn for our pantheon and it is time to change that. Odin spoke in his deep authoritarian voice that demanded respect. What displeases you, my lord, and I shall change it. The pantheon of solar tides has gotten far too strong over the years and has even dared to venture into our territory. I fear that their greed will become too big in the future. Therefore, we will act now and strike them when they least expect it. The pantheon of solar tides. That is a big target, All-Father. How may I assist you? Go forth and attack their settlements. Destroy their human settlements, cause chaos and make it seem like it was Poseidon's doing. The anger addressed at him will keep him busy, for is to strike them at their core and take them out. Are you certain that will be enough, All-Father? I stand no chance against Poseidon, from what I have heard and. Do you question my intelligence? You are to capture their attention and grant us a big window for attack. Don't worry, I have more than enough plans to see this through. Do your task, unless you don't feel up for the task. Of course not, All-Father. I will do what you asked. Njord says and bows his head. Things were going to be interesting, thought Odin. With a thought, Odin connected to another person, who would prove invaluable in his plans and who he could use as a meat shield. Mount Kailash. On Mount Kailash, overlooking the world, a single being is meditating. Next to him, a Trishula stands. A trident, representing the three aspects of his being: creation, preservation, and destruction. His hair flows in as if it were underwater, despite that not being the case. He has a third eye on his forehead, symbolizing his ability to see beyond the physical realm and destroy evil. The being with purple skin is deep in meditation. Nothing and no one could ever get him out of this, except very few things. No one knows what the being is meditating on, or for how long. Those things don't matter though. What matters is that he was here at the beginning and would be here to end it all and have things be created anew. The being is known under many names. Mahadeva, the great god; Shankara, the auspicious one; Rudra, the howler, a more fearsome form; Maheshwara, the great lord; and Nilakantha, the blue-throated one. But he is most commonly known as Shiva. Shiva is one of the principal deities in Hinduism and a member of the Trimurti, the holy trinity that includes Brahma and Vishnu. Together they form the most powerful gods on earth and are very, very high up on the multiversal scale of power. Shiva is known as the destroyer, or transformer, within the Trimurti, responsible for the destruction necessary for regeneration and renewal. Shiva's role as the destroyer is not negative but essential for the cycle of creation, preservation, and destruction. He destroys the universe at the end of each cycle, making way for new creation. He is a complex deity, embodying both compassion and fierceness. He is known to be easily pleased by his devotees and offers boons generously. Conversely, he can be fierce and destructive, particularly in his form as Bhairava. As it would have it, the calm of Shiva's meditation was disturbed. Not in a forceful quick way, but it felt as if something wasn't right. In case of danger, if such a thing was even possible, Shiva's senses would warn him and he would awake from his meditation. But this time his senses didn't warn him of danger. Instead, it felt more like something was bothering him, like an itch that you couldn't scratch. Being the powerful and old deity that he was, he had never experienced this. But it wasn't going away. So, after meditating for ages, he finally opened his eyes and what he saw caused him to raise his eyebrow. There in front of him sits someone, a young god from another pantheon no less. Shiva finds the situation amusing as he can see that the young god in front of him is seemingly in very deep meditation and undergoing some kind of process. His body and soul are changing and Shiva can sense something meaningful happening. After a moment, the young god, with golden hair, opens his eyes and the two look each other in the eyes. No words are needed to convey what they think. Both are strong enough to transcend the need for words. Greetings, O auspicious one, I am Poseidon, a neighbor of yours. Greetings to you too, Poseidon. Might I inquire about your reason for coming here? Did we not exchange words with our eyes just now? I thought that was the reason for our intense moment. Quote. Quote. Ho 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 ho. I see now. You are overflowing with charisma. You are not laughing at my joke, are you? No, but the situation was amusing nonetheless. Quote. Quote. So will you tell me why you're here? Certainly, I am here to learn how to dance like you. Nataraja. I see. It makes sense after all. We are similar in some ways. Are we not? Indubitably. Blank. Blank. I added some Marvel comic elements here, but that is not important. I will do something that I don't think anyone has ever done in fanfiction about gods. At least to my knowledge. 68 comments, 0 vote. The start of something unfathomable. Third person POV. I am often called Nataraja, the Lord of Dance, and for good reason. My dance, known as the Tandava, is a significant concept in our Hindu pantheon and represents the cosmic cycle of creation, preservation, and destruction. The two most common forms of my dance are the Lasya, which is the gentle form of my dance, associated with the creation of the world, and the Ananda Tandava, the dance of bliss, the vigorous form of dance, associated with the destruction of weary worldviews, weary perspectives and lifestyles and the universe as a whole. In essence, the Lasya and the Tandava are just two aspects of my nature, for I destroy in order to create, tearing down to build again. A concept I know you are familiar with. If I teach you my dance, I know you will be able to learn it very fast. Probably the first time you've seen it. I am also certain that you could learn it without me ever showing it. You have something that allows you to learn anything and improve yourself. I don't know what it is, but I know that no one simply develops new powers on the fly like you do. I don't care about that. What I do care about is that you came to me instead of just learning the Tandava. I understand you and you understand me, it would seem. This surprises me, which is rare and seemingly impossible, for I have seen it all already. I shall teach it to you. The flow of destruction and creation will come naturally to you. But there is something I would like from you, Shiva says. And what? I would like to know what you meditated on and learn your technique. This way we can exchange techniques and make it an equal exchange. I agree to this. What I just meditated on is what I call the Great Way of Poseidon. The name needs work, but it's all I have right now. You can also call it Mahayana, for I took it from Buddha and adapted it to myself, Poseidon says. Buddha, truly interesting. I can imagine how he must have reacted when you made it more powerful than him. He probably didn't care and was happy too. Indeed, he only smiled when I did that. He's an enjoyable man to be around, Poseidon says. Very well. Shall we start? Yes, please. What followed was Shiva teaching Poseidon how to do the Tandava. He taught him both forms. Ananda Tandava, the dance of bliss, depicting joy and creation, and Rudra Tandava, the dance of destruction, associated with Shiva's more wrathful aspects. Poseidon, who was the god of waves and flow, naturally picked it up easily. He didn't use a pool of inspiration as they spent the time together. He immersed himself in the experience and dance. Picking up new things was a hobby of his since he was born, and learning something like this was enjoyable for him. Shiva was a chill dude, if you will. Rage and joy interwoven into one god and given form. Destruction and creation are connected like two ends of a rope that touch. Poseidon closed his eyes and let things happen. He danced on top of Mount Kailash together with Shiva. The worries of the world are forgotten right now, neither of them stopped doing what they were doing. The more Poseidon danced, the more he understood it. He only had to do something once, to master it, but he was not stopping at mastery, he took it beyond that. After an unknown amount of time, Shiva opened his eyes and observed Poseidon's dance. What he saw shocked him. That's right, Poseidon, an infant in Shiva's eyes, shocked him to the core. It was his dance, he had created it and it represented him. But what he saw was Poseidon, not moving at all. He saw Poseidon's spirit, or his soul, leave his body, while the physical body was meditating on the ground. The spirit did the Tandava, while the physical body meditated. He had gone beyond what was thought possible and took the Tandava to another level. He was using the flow and manipulating it, to suit his needs and wishes. He was like a surfer who used the waves but also manipulated the water to create the waves he wanted. He had created a perpetuum mobile in the spiritual sense. The more he followed the flow, the more he understood it and the better he got with the Tandava. His understanding deepened, his control rose, and the power he exuded shot through the roof into the unknown. Shiva stood there, taking it in and smiling. After a while, Poseidon stopped because he felt reality starting to crumble slightly. His mere dance, without any power involved, was destroying space-time around him. The rigid parts of reality that were set in stone were destroyed as Poseidon performed his dance. He opened his eyes and looked into the distance. No one knows what he saw at that moment, only Shiva might have an idea. Then his eyes focused again and he looked at Shiva. One of the three most powerful gods smiled at him gently. That was beautiful. I will try to reach that stage soon. To think that you learned about it and then reached a transcendent stage before me. I am impressed, Poseidon. The world will belong to the solar tide pantheon, that is certain. Nonsense. The Hindu pantheon is powerful and will survive the tides of time. I have seen it. Did you? I did too. But time means nothing, and neither does fate to those who can either manipulate it or destroy it with a breath. True. So how about that great way of Poseidon? Can I learn it now? Shiva asked. Sure, let's do it. The great way of the Buddha, also known as the forbidden heavenly tome, is a forbidden divine profound art. It comes from Buddha and describes his way to reach enlightenment. It could help a human reach the legendary body of saints, basically placing him on the level of gods and becoming one while not simultaneously. But that isn't really important. Normal humans cannot cultivate the great way of the Buddha without exploding since it puts a heavy strain on their bodies. Only people who have inherited some bloodline or have some power inherently can cultivate this art. The great way of the Buddha affects your blood vessels, muscles, skin, and hair and actually has not even the slightest of relationships with divine energy or divine power since it relies on the strength of the soul and nature instead. Its cultivation is absolutely not from battle, but from comprehension instead. That is what makes the great way of Poseidon an arduous art to cultivate due to its extremely harsh requirements on the person's comprehension abilities, Poseidon started to explain. He had truly met with Buddha and learned his teachings, but he chose the great way of the Buddha from the novel Against the Gods. The great way of the Buddha has 12 stages. The great way of Poseidon, on the other hand, has no true limit since it can increase the power of the body and develop anything about yourself if you understand it. But the initial phase also consists of 12 stages. The purpose of the first stage of the great way of the Buddha is to absorb the vitality of the world, and to allow the world's vitality to fill, refine, and transform your body, including the flesh, hair, blood, bones, organs, and marrow, allowing the body to be born anew. Every following elevation of the realms in each stage will also result in a new reformation of the body. If a mortal were to use this technique, every new reformation of the body signified a slight separation from the mortal realm. Their lifespan would also increase exponentially. The great way of the Buddha is a bit different from the one I created. First stage, provides strength of 2 feet 000 kilogram. Second stage, increase arm strength by 4 feet 000 kilogram. Third stage, increase strength by 10 feet 000 kilogram, a body that is as strong as pure steel, and a healing capability that no ordinary person could possibly understand. Fourth stage, bestow a bodily strength of 50 feet 000 kilogram. Fifth stage 100 feet 000 kilogram, you can absorb the energy of heaven's way. Sixth stage 200 feet 000 kilogram, peak mortal physique of saint body. Seventh stage 400 feet 000 kilogram, here you are able to restore important bodily necessities such as vision. Blank. Mine is different though. What good does 400 feet 000 kilogram do to anyone? The great way of Poseidon is harder to understand but also grants much bigger rewards. You see, after you enter the first stage, your strength doubles. From the first to the second stage, the buff is not 2 but 4 times. From the second stage to the third, the increase is 8 times and so on. Shiva looked at Poseidon like he had 2 heads. Although that wasn't anything special for a Hindu god, so yeah. You are a strange man, Poseidon. But I am more than interested in seeing this cultivation you speak of. So tell me, how do I start with this? Shiva asks. Well, it goes like this. The 2 powerful gods spend a lot of time talking, meditating and exchanging stories as they spend their time together. It looked strange for 2 such powerful gods to act like old friends who met after a long time and had a drink together. They were talking and a surprising bond formed between them. As they were talking, another presence made itself known. Both Shiva and Poseidon looked at a spot where space-time shimmered and another man appeared. Shiva knew the person well and Poseidon knew him as well, but only from afar. The man had a blue complexion, symbolizing his infinite nature and cosmic dimensions, as well as 4 arms. And in those arms, the man held a chakra discus, which represents the mind and the weapon to destroy evil. A Shankha conch shell, this symbolizes the divine sound and life force. A Gada mace representing strength and protection. And a Padma lotus flower, symbolizes purity and spiritual power. What are you doing here, Vishnu? Shiva asks. Vishnu is one of the principal deities of Hinduism, widely revered as the preserver and protector of the universe. He is part of the Trimurti, which includes Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, and Shiva, the destroyer. Vishnu is known for his role in maintaining the order and harmony of the cosmos and is depicted as a benevolent deity. He is also the ruler of the Hindu pantheon in this multiverse. Vishnu opened his eyes and looked at Shiva and Poseidon. Shiva, I have come for your new friend here, Vishnu says. I thought as much. What can I do for you, Lord Vishnu? Poseidon asks. I have come to inform you, young Poseidon, about the disturbance happening right now. The balance of the world is uncertain and threatens to shift. The threats and plans have been laid out and are ready to be used. I am sure you are aware of what is happening, but are you truly ready? Vishnu asks. Are you talking about Gaia's plan to get revenge on me? If so, then yes. The All-Father and his band of misfits, as well as those he called for help, will break their jaws trying to bite more than they can chew. We are prepared, Poseidon says. I see great pride in you and understand that you have not let your power cloud your judgment. But time is fickle when so many gods and different pantheons are involved. Quote. What do you want to tell me, Lord Vishnu? Poseidon asks. I would like to declare our independence in the war to come. You need not fear for involvement of the Trimurti, Vishnu tells Poseidon. I thank you for that information. You also needn't worry about any form of attack coming from the solar tide pantheon, Poseidon says and makes both Shiva and Vishnu smile. Not out of amusement, as funny as that might seem considering their power. They both know Poseidon's potential is limitless and boundless beyond compare. He will rise higher and there is nothing they can do about it, save for destroying the entire universe, and not even that might work anymore. Poseidon shook both Shiva's and Vishnu's hands and then left. It was time for a war. I have plans about the war to come and try to surprise you with it. I can't have Odin, a god of wisdom, create a bad plan now, can I? So no chapters tomorrow and probably on Monday again. 153 comments, 0 vote. A war to be remembered. Yes, I know. Some of you are angry because I went on hiatus because real life was calling. But it is what it is. This is free and I do it because I wish. The next arc needs time for me to plan out in advance. The DC universe is large and I plan on making use of it, but that needs time. I hope you can still enjoy it. Third person POV. As Poseidon finished his stay with two of the three most powerful gods on Earth, he got a feeling that something was wrong. Naturally, he knew what was going on as he was aware of the war to come. Time was fickle right now, as multiple divine beings were trying to exert their control over it as much as possible and use it to their advantage. Poseidon, it has started, someone told him telepathically. Who did they send? Njord, it would seem. He is destroying some of our cities on the continent and is about to go on further. Should we stop them? The soldier asks me. No, I will deal with Njord myself. He has been clouded and I think he deserves a warning first, before I get rid of him entirely. As you command, my lord. Poseidon's form disappears and he reappears on American soil, where Njord is about to destroy yet another city using a large tsunami. With a thought, the ocean calms itself and the situation looks as if nothing has ever happened. If anyone blinked for a moment there, he or she would have missed it. Njord looks around confused and angry, but mostly confused. His control over water was just nullified and forcefully taken away. He couldn't move the water in any shape or form right now, and that was both scary and confusing to him. He looked around and suddenly saw an attractive male sitting not far away from him in the sand and looking at him. He had blonde hair and the clearest blue eyes he had ever seen. What confused him, though, was that the man didn't have any aura about him whatsoever. It felt to Njord as if he was looking at a mortal. Excuse me, sir, would you tell me what you are doing here? The time for fishing has passed, winter is coming, the attractive but strange man said to Njord. What? Who are you? You feel like a mortal, but I know that something is going on. Was it you? So you just arrive on the turf of another pantheon and don't even know what the leader of that pantheon looks like? That is very bad preparation, good sir. For a god of the sea in the Norse pantheon, I find that insulting. Njord's eyes narrowed and he jumped back. With a thought, a spear appears in his hands. I am Njord, god of the sea, seafaring, wind, fishing, wealth, and crop fertility. Lovely titles. I am here to fight you for your hubris and arrogance to think that you could threaten our rules. Prepare to die, Poseidon. Oh, so you do know who I am. Very well, attack me. Did I stutter? Attack me. I await your punishment. Quote. Nothing happened. Well, that's what it appeared like, but in secret, Njord was trying to regain his authority over the sea and the water around him without any luck. You can't do it, can you? Poseidon sounded cheeky right now. The god of the sea of the Norse pantheon can't use his divinity to do anything with it. Now that is embarrassing. How about we talk and you tell me what lies everyone's daddy told you? I will not speak. I will kill you. Njord shouts and rushes towards Poseidon. If he can't use his divinity, he will try to kill Poseidon with his spear physically. The physical power of Njord is impressive, but the one he is fighting is out of his league. He uses his full power to pierce Poseidon with his spear. He channels all of his power into the spear and strikes. Clang. ... Poseidon looks down like Baloo looks at Mowgli when he punches him. Tisk tisk tisk, pitiful. You need help, and I am not going to give it to you. I would like for you to stop attacking my land, or I'll kill you. You would never touch me. Doing that would threaten war with the Norse pantheon. You think that you can come here, destroy a city and then just leave because I am afraid of your pantheon. That is more pitiful than your attack right there. Allow me to demonstrate the amount of fear I have for your pantheon, Poseidon says. His aura suddenly changes, and like his divinity, a monstrous amount of power crashes on Njord, similar to a tsunami crashing on a human. *BVROOOOM. The sheer power causes Njord to crash into the ground and break all of his bones. His organs are turned to mush, and massive amounts of blood splash out of his body. I was about to spare your pathetic life, and yet, here you are groveling at my feet because you believe in Odin. And the irony of it all, you were tricked from the beginning. Odin never meant for you to survive. But that doesn't matter to me. Goodbye, Njord. I will do well with your pathetic little amount of authority over the sea. Poseidon takes his trident and raises it over his head. With a swing, he aims at Njord's head. Stoop. A voice is heard, and Poseidon stops in his tracks. He looks up to see a goddess approaching. Freya, Njord's daughter. What is it? Are you here to beg me for his life? Poseidon asks. Yes, please, he is my father and I love him. So what? So what? How is it my problem that you love your father? Poseidon asks. I will take his place instead. You want me to kill you instead of him? What are you, stupid? No, take me hostage instead of killing him. Odin doesn't know I am here right now. If he does, he can't do anything about it. If you take me hostage, he will be weakened. And you expect me to believe that you are willing to betray your pantheon because you love your father so much? Poseidon asks. She is the goddess of love and beauty, but not intelligence after all. A new voice is heard, causing Poseidon to smile. You came. Indeed. I couldn't have you take the attack on your own. Ra says. So they are prepared. Naturally. Odin might believe he is the smartest one, but his plans aren't as good as he may believe, Ra says. They knew Odin would attack and had prepared their army for the confrontation beforehand. The question was whether Odin would have something to surprise Poseidon. The sky darkens, and from the clouds, Odin appears, dressed in war armor, followed by his wife Frigga, many children, and others in his pantheon. Poseidon, you dare attack a member of my pantheon? Odin shouts. Would you mind terribly if we just skipped all the nonsense and got to fighting? I am ready, and so are you and your friends. I think we can agree to this, no? Poseidon asks. Your arrogance knows no bounds. You have taken for yourself and from others, and think yourself superior. For harming Njord, who belongs to my pantheon, He sure talks a lot, Ra says. Indeed. I think he likes to hear his own voice. Poseidon says. Not as much as Zeus, that's for sure. Oh, Hephaestus, you came. How are you feeling? Poseidon asks. Good. Ready for war, Hephaestus says. That's nice to hear. I think it's about to start, but the mandatory 10 minutes of advertising is still going on. Up in the sky, Odin has grown angry at the young god, Poseidon. He didn't think that it was a big secret, that all of this was a farce, but to be called out on his hypocrisy was too much, and the amount of disrespect he experienced made him glad that he agreed to Gaia's suggestion. The pantheon of the sun's tide will be destroyed, and you only have yourself to blame for that, Odin says. Is that so? And how will you manage that? Throw your second eye at us. Talk us to death. Recite poetry. Prophesize our doom and then hope it happens in a few billion years. Poseidon asks. Quote. So arrogant, Odin says. The two rulers of their respective pantheons face each other and unleash their auras against one another. As the fight has finally started, Poseidon turns serious as he understands what will happen, and no matter how easy or hard a fight might be, if someone threatens anything that belongs to him, they die. Both of their auras clash, causing a lot of destruction. But Gaia is still there, containing their powers to stop Earth from being destroyed. She can't get directly involved, but indirectly she can. Poseidon pushes more and more until Odin is required to use more of his power and dips into the Odin force to match it. Their divine energies collide and whip up massive amounts of wind G-forces. Then, both of them suddenly stop, causing silence to return to the battlefield. Let me guess, you are convinced that you can't take us on and have called upon others to help you, Poseidon asks, already having seen the other pantheons about to appear. I told you, the sun's tide pantheon will be destroyed, and there's nothing you can do about it, Odin says. You should have offered both of your eyes instead of just one. It's clear that Yggdrasil didn't give you all of its wisdom. Poseidon says and looks into the distance. Another golden light appears from high in the sky, similar to the first one, but this one is more pompous and extravagant than the Norse one. A large gate opens, and from it, a large marble room with many golden seats and a giant golden throne in the middle, with Zeus sitting on it. The Greek pantheon has arrived, and they are here for a fight. It was bound to happen at some point, but to think that they would help the Norse pantheon against one of their own was surprising indeed. Good to see you, brother. I was wondering what happened to you, and here I see you have taken on more than you can chew. Poseidon greets Zeus. Poseidon, you traitor, you have stolen my son and kept him as a hostage for years now. You don't deserve what you have created, and the authority you took will belong to me in the end, so why don't you give up and come back? We might even help you. So traitors are allowed back into the fold, if they have something to give you. Poseidon asks. No, you will be tortured until the end of time, but I might just let your lovely wife live if you surrender. Zeus says lecherously. Ugh, I would rather do what the one-eyed grandfather did than look at you longer than necessary, Ra says retching. Are you happy with your choice, Hera? I'm sure you are proud to have done as you did. Was Métis not enough of a warning for you? Poseidon asks. Before the queen can answer, another pantheon appears. This one might seem surprising for most, but Poseidon has also seen that one. It was bound to be this way. Odin was no fool, and he would have done everything to ensure his part of the bargain was taken care of. This time, sand appears from the golden light, and several men and women appear dressed lightly as if it were hot. Oh, my, if it isn't little Osiris and Seth, are you all friends and lovey-dovey again? Ra teases, seeing the Aeneid arriving at the battlefield. It seems to get rather crowded, though, don't you think, love? Ra asks. Indeed, we can always cull the herd. Poseidon answers. The battlefield is set, and the war to be remembered was about to start. 38 comments 0 vote. Pissed. Download the app for additional rewards. More events, more perks. Winning you more free perks. Download now. DaoistqZxYMH. Download app now. A war to be remembered too. Behind Poseidon and Ra, more and more of their fellow Pantheon members arrived. Most of the powerful members of the Sun-Tide Pantheon were his generals. But not all of them, of course. Others were powerful and capable of fighting, but most weren't. And the reason for that was because Poseidon himself and his wife Ra, and those who could fight, were simply unbelievably powerful that not much else was needed. The generals and their soldiers suddenly appeared from the deep waters. Tentacruel, the jellyfish with the power of poison and his fellow species. Inkwell, the octopus with the power of power nullification and his men. Riptide, the monstrous shark who grows more powerful as he consumes and his fellow sharks. Finally, two massive krakens rise as well and stand in the far back, prepared for anything the others have to throw at them. More soldiers who have joined the army also appear and prepare for the fight. So the four pantheons are ready and face one another. The Norse pantheon, led by Odin Borson, the Greek pantheon, led by Zeus and the Aeneid, led by Horus, or Seth, Osiris. The Aeneid is in between a personal conflict as well, so they aren't sure who leads. There are no more words that need to be spoken, because Odin simply raises his arm towards Poseidon and his pantheon roars and attacks, starting the entire war. For Odin. For Asgard. Ironically, Thor Odinson is the first one to attack Poseidon, the leader of a pantheon. The young god of thunder is powerful, he truly is, and he swings Mjolnir, an immensely powerful weapon, towards Poseidon. The air cracks with lightning and gets charged up, igniting the ions in the air and making the air smell of ozone. Zeus is giddy suddenly and zooms forward, but not towards Poseidon, no, he attacks Ra. Her beauty and power have made the lustful idiot hot and bothered, and he wants to quench his urge. The Aeneid doesn't attack just yet, as the other two pantheons are rushing forward, attacking the sun-tide covering the sky through sheer numbers. Due to the enormous number of participants, the battlefield was divided into three parts. The main field, where Poseidon was fighting and dealing with some of the strongest combatants. The second part, where Ra was dealing with her fighters. And finally, another part that was going to be occupied by more fighters. With Poseidon, Thor, god of thunder, roars his battle cry and descends from the sky, swinging Mjolnir as fast as he can and then bringing the hammer down, hard. Monstrous amounts of divine energy are released as he approaches Poseidon below, however, suddenly. What? Thor shouts as he feels the weight of his hammer decrease and looks at it. Parts of Mjolnir have been broken off. Thor looks down at Poseidon and sees him dropping broken parts from his hand. All of this happens in the span of microseconds, and Thor wonders just how and, more importantly, when Poseidon did that. No divine energy could be sensed, and he didn't see him move. Don't look so grim, Odinson. I paid respect to your power. Son of an Asgardian skyfather and a primordial, a formidable being, you are. So I broke it. In the future, Poseidon's words reach Thor. Quote. I see you don't understand, but it doesn't matter. Exclamation mark. Thor, Odin shouts across the battlefield. The All-Father acts immediately and hurls Gnir through the air. The powerful spear is filled with the Odin force and passes through space-time to reach Poseidon in time because he has noticed that in a picosecond, Poseidon's trident will pierce Thor and kill him completely. Boo. Gungnir clashes with the trident and stops it from piercing Thor in the last possible instance. Thor wakes up from his stupor and shouts again, roaring and swinging down his broken Mjolnir at Poseidon. But as he does so, he suddenly moves around Poseidon without wanting to. By controlling the flow of Thor's movement, he made him bend around him and pushed forward with the trident. *BOOOM. Gungnir flies backwards and is caught by Odin as he moves forward. The two monsters clash their weapons against each other. A swirling mist of sheer power appears and covers this side of the battlefield, pushing the weaker fighters away. Poseidon. Die. Another participant has decided to enter the fight. Ares, god of war, is here and wishes to kill the strongest being on the battlefield for now. Ares is growing stronger as the fight progresses, and he can feel himself becoming increasingly powerful, fueling his ego and delusions. He swings his mace at Poseidon, who doesn't even look at his nephew. He holds out his hand and stops the mace from reaching him. With seeming ease, Poseidon swings the mace around and throws him towards the approaching Thor, causing the two to crash into one another. With Ra, the queen of the sun-tide pantheon moves to the side slightly, allowing Zeus to pass by her. She has been training and growing stronger since she got married to Poseidon. If she wants to keep up in bed, she realized she had to grow further, as funny as it sounds. She had trouble taking most things seriously and constantly made fun of the stiff and secretive gods of her own and others' pantheons. But she hated the fact that greed made these pathetic excuses attack her man and her pantheon. She was well aware that she had scored when it came to her partner, seeing the lustful dog that was Zeus. Oh my, aren't you a quick one? And to think that you look this good and full. Oh, I will enjoy this, Zeus says. You shouldn't say such things, child. Poseidon doesn't take it well when others leer at me or say such words, or even think them, Ra says. And indeed, the two suddenly feel the massive bloodlust coming from Poseidon, who is actually busy with his own fight. Zeus halts for a second and looks at Poseidon, whose eyes glow a very light blue. A flash of yellow light grabs Ra's attention, and she turns around, holding out her hand and blocking the attack from Apollo, the god of light and the son of the Greek pantheon. The young man is just as thirsty for Ra and willing to kill and rape her to acquire her parts of authority over the divinity of the sun. Sadly, he is far too weak, despite having the most divinities in his pantheon. You are still a bit young to play around with that, child. Ra says and slaps Apollo on the cheek. Slap. *BOOOM. Apollo crashes to the ground next to his father, who looks at him angrily. What are you doing? Zeus asks. Helping you. She's powerful and I want to kill her, to Akir. Silence. Zeus says and punches his son in the face. Boom. Apollo shoots away, and Zeus focuses on Ra again. He uses his top speed, more than during the Titanomachy. He has developed a technique to use against Poseidon, but he would have to use it now. A lighting trail is left as he appears before Ra and unleashes a series of attacks. But Ra simply moves to the side and dodges all of them. She takes out the blade at her side, her Zanpakuto, and blocks a dark arrow flying towards her from a distance away. Artemis is angry at what happened to her brother and tries to catch Ra off guard. Stupid children. She's mine. Zeus shouts and uses monstrous amounts of power to punch towards Ra. The speed forces her to block the attack, which she does. *BOOOM. What? Zeus' eyes widen as he sees Ra hold his fist in her palm. With a powerful pull, Ra rips off Zeus' arm and kicks him to the ground. Ra. Boom. One must be prepared to sacrifice everything to pursue their goals, Ra says as she blocks another of Artemis' arrows. Ra feels the danger and turns around, but before she can realize what is happening, a fist appears in her field of vision, the fist of Hermes, the god of speed and thieves. He found a path and reached her using his immense speed. He was just about to attack her when green energy covered him and stopped him in his tracks. Zeus looks at the scene with even wider eyes as he stares at the cold and unforgiving eyes of Cronus. What? How are you here? He asks. But instead of answering, Cronus simply grins savagely. Cronus has stopped Hermes' time and stopped him from hitting his queen. The fight was truly heating up. But another god appears on their battlefield. Osiris, having had enough time to observe, attacked Ra with a powerful wave of his energy. Ra unsheathes her Zanpakuto and swings it casually, breaking the attack of her grandson. Ho, it seems you're a bit angry, are you, Osiris? Are you trying to keep things a secret? Ra laughs. With the rest. On the final battlefield, the other gods observe the fight as it is going on and choose to get involved as well. Dionysus, god of wine, Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, Hera and Hathor are all being attacked by the generals of Poseidon. Hera, who hates what is happening and the fact that she has to watch her husband go after Ra, whom he would fuck right on the battlefield if he could get his hands on her, and has to put up with the fact that her disfigured son, whom she threw off Olympus, is now here, holding a massive warhammer and looks good. Really good. Hephaestus swings his warhammer, which he created himself out of a powerful metal he calls eighth metal. The metal can amplify energy and boost mental abilities. *BOOOM. A powerful explosion happens as his warhammer hits Dionysus's head and breaks it in one swing. Poseidon and Ra have, for the most part, adopted Hephaestus, who has been training and creating weapons and tools for a considerable time. The hammer he is using can absorb divine energy and augment itself with it, which makes it a perfect and lethal weapon when fighting other divine beings. The powerful young god blocks an attack from the sky, as Horus, one of the disputed kings of the Aeneid, attacks him. Hera observes the fight with sadness, when she is suddenly attacked by a few massive sharks under Riptide's orders. She swings her staff around and blocks their attacks. However, it is hard for her, and she can't easily rid herself of them. Set has started to support his side by raising the dead, but his control is suddenly stopped, and he has to use more energy to do what he wants, because someone else has arrived. Hades. Wah! What are you doing? Aphrodite shouts in irritation. From the darkness, Hades rises together with his wife, Persephone. Daughter. Finally, he has freed you. I will come for you. Demeter shouts in relief and anger at seeing her daughter. No, I love Hades and have married him. This war is wrong, please, mother, don't do this. Persephone says. Hades reacts quickly and blocks an attack from Frigga, queen of the Norse pantheon and wife of Odin. She is a strong and capable warrior, willing to kill every single one she can. But seeing her daughter attacked doesn't please Demeter at all. What are you doing? She shouts. This is war. Everyone who stands on the other side will die, Frigga declares coldly. Don't touch my daughter. Demeter screams and starts attacking Frigga. This is unexpected for Frigga and most who aren't in the Greek pantheon, as they are familiar with Demeter's love for her daughter. Further back, several gods and goddesses have yet to take action and have merely been observing the start of this long fight. Athena, goddess of wisdom and tactical warfare, is one of them. She is evaluating the fight of the different groups and calculates the best strategy to win and who would be best to eliminate first. Then there is a trio of Norse magicians, Loki, the Enchantress, and Karnilla. The three of them are sneaky and backstabbing, but they are in the process of creating intricate magical formulas for a purpose only they know. Everyone is doing something, and plans within plans are still unfolding, including initiatives that Odin initiated and those undertaken by others. A sudden roar pulls everyone's attention to Poseidon's part of the battlefield. No, KKK, AKKCKK. Poseidon has his trident pierced through Thor's stomach. Odin roars, but is assaulted by an enormous black hole that appears behind him and pulls him in. Everyone on the battlefield observes as Thor's body and blood start to be drained by the trident, which is no longer just a trident and Zanpakuto. Poseidon's trident has been transformed into something else as well, his very own, DaoistqZxYMH. The mood was set, and this gave everyone a clear indication of what they were truly in for. All of them could die, permanently. Blank. I dislike it when characters can't truly die and keep coming back all the time. This is different. Naturally, some can't die, as I just don't want that to happen, but you never know with others. See you next week. Hopefully. 48 comments 0 vote.